Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Poor Man's Chemist. In this video, I will demonstrate the conversion of thallium chromate into thallium nitrate. This all came about because I was searching for a better way to recycle thallium than using borohydride, because if there is any halide in the thallium to be recycled at all, the thallium metal, once it's precipitated out with borohydride, clumps, even if you don't stir it, and it's sitting there in a perfectly calm beaker. That shit clumps, occludes some of the solution, carries some of the halide over, and the moment you try to dissolve it in anything, you will immediately lose some of it because some of the halide will precipitate out. It is an incredible pain in the ass. But I was reading on Atomistry that thallium chromate and thallium chromate can be converted to thallium oxide by reacting it with molten KOH. And thallium chromate rather, happily, I don't know that there is a thallium chromate, so but thallium chromate is incredibly insoluble, like way less soluble than barium sulfate, although strangely much easier to filter. So I'm like, oh wait, cool, yes, awesome, this will get rid of the halide issue and will allow me to recycle my thallium. Well, yes and no. It does get rid of the halide issue and creates about 5 others, not the least of which is that when Atomistry said you need an excess of KOH, they should have said a large excess of KOH, because most of the thallium chromate did not react. But some of it did. I did get some thallic oxide out of it, and that's thallic, not phallic. Get your head out of the gutter there. And I was able to convert that into Thallic Nitrate. I'm 100% sure of this because no fucking Thallous Chloride precipitated out when I added my nitric acid to the mix, which we all know has a little bit of HCl in it. But see, thallium chloride is perfectly soluble in water, so nothing precipitated out. So it was definitely thallic oxide, and at least that fucking part worked. Yay. Of course, if I want to reduce it to thallium, the halide problem will be back. But this was more of a proof of concept run. And I proved the concept works, and that it's a giant pain in the ass. It was just very, very, very messy. This was the messiest prep I've done with thallium since I tried making that thallium carbonate, man. I do not recommend anybody else fool with this. The molten mix put off some weird death vapor. I'm not really sure what that was all about, but yeah. This is definitely not one for beginners, and even for an advanced amateur. You might want to see if there is a different way, or just accept that once you have combined thallium with a halogen atom, you are never getting rid of it until the end of time. And if you don't want a thallium halide, you might as well just waste the shit, because trying to recover it this way is just not practical unless you have a real big crucible. I do not. I can't even afford to buy a 100 mil crucible, and I think you would need to have one, like you would need to have a few 100 mil crucibles, even do just like less than 10 grams of this stuff. So yeah, it's not really practical, but it worked. It worked. I'm making a video out of it because it worked, and we're gonna see thallium nitrate, which is a compound I've never made. So we're going to pick it up with melting shit down. I didn't film making the thallium chromate because that was a simple precipitation reaction. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by showing you that. So let's pick it up with the creation of the melt and the death vapor. Stay back away from that, buddy. Nobody has to go near this thing. I'm not even sure this thing can withstand this kind of heat. Find out. to deal with the inevitable splattering that I know is going to happen. There we go. Well, let's hope this works and it doesn't end up all over the fucking place. Whoa! Stay back over here, guys. Come on, don't go anywhere near that shit. Stay way the fuck back here. Good dogs. Come on, Frodo. I want you even further from that. Boy, I am really glad I gave that thing a wide berth. What the fuck even was that? And did it settle out on my phone? God damn it. I don't even know what that was. On the other hand, it looks like the prep went marvelously. That's kind of what I expected it to be. But what was that fucking red death vapor? Man, I don't even want to touch this phone now. God damn it. What the fuck even was that? And this, oh man. God damn it. This is what I get for breaking my rule about heating up shit with thallium in it. I deserve this. I absolutely fucking deserve this. God damn it. Oh, God. Well, that was certainly exciting, wasn't it? I added a little bit of water to this already, just to make sure it was good and cooled off. You can see we're getting a lot of a yellow substance here, which looks a lot like our thallium chromate that we started with. I'm not sure how much was actually converted, but enough. God, man, I am really, really hoping I never at any point got close enough to this thing to get any of them fucking vapors. I guess if I start to die, we'll know why. I guess some doctor will be able to write a paper about it. That's kind of cool. Just don't give me some number. Use my name. Because, hey, I want to be remembered. Well, we're committed now, so might as well soldier on. Keep going with this experiment. Well, it'll either be a really cool experiment and all will go well, or I'll be in the ER by tomorrow morning. I guess we'll see. I will say this for this stuff. It's very beautiful. I am really thinking that a lot of the thallium chromate did not react. I wonder if those death vapors were thallium chromate. I'm also thinking we're going to have a real hard time trying to separate any lingering thallium chromate from the thallium metal itself. You can see what or the thallium oxide rather. Thinking that's probably also going to be the case. Also thinking, see, there is some kind of black sludge. That's nice. Yeah, there's black crystals here. Or they're a really dark green. It's very hard to tell. Dark green would be reduced chromium. Okay, what are we getting here? And, oh, would you look at that? Now, that could be thallic oxide for all I know. We'll know when we try to dissolve it in nitric acid to make thallic nitrate. And if that is remaining thallium chromate, I don't know, man. I ain't doing this shit again. There's no way in hell I am repeating this experiment. It will go into intractable waste and be disposed of somehow. Because thallium chromate, other than this, is a dead end. There's nothing you can do with it. And this is the last time I heat up anything with thallium in it. I ain't breaking that rule again, man. Not for nothing. This shit ain't worth that amount of money. Of course, I may feel differently about this tomorrow if I don't die. But right now, nah, I ain't feeling it, man. Well, I will come back when there's something else to report. I'll tell you what. This is a little nerve-wracking now. Alright, everyone. There it is. It was exceptionally difficult to separate this stuff from residual thallous chromate. As I have come to discover, if you try this, when Atomistry says use an excess of potassium hydroxide, they mean a large excess of potassium hydroxide. Most of the thallous chromate did not react. You can see a picture there on the screen of all of the waste that was left over from this process. So yeah, an incredible amount of thallous chromate left over. What thallous chromate did react gave us thallic oxide exactly as it's supposed to. At least that's what it looks like. That's what we're going to try to find out here. And the thallous chromate was converted into potassium chromate, while the thallium was converted into the oxide. So, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. In molten KOH, I wouldn't expect chromate to do much of anything. I expect it to be more or less a spectator ion in this whole process. I mean, clearly all of this is being driven, by the conversion of the thallium cation into thallium-3 oxide. So, you know, the chromate ion is just along for the ride, I think. But, yeah, it may not look like it here, but I can see little particles of thallous chromate that are still in there. I don't know if you guys can see them on your screen or not. And the water is ever so slightly... I have rinsed this fucking shit so many times. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things. I mean, it looked pretty clear before. It looks pretty clear on the camera. But yeah, getting all the potassium chromate out of it and all the thallous chromate particles was a royal pain in the ass. Anyway, we are going to... Come on. Yay! It works! The stirring is working. Oh, I'm so happy. Alright. What we're going to do is we are going to add nitric acid to this and try to dissolve the thallium-3 oxide to create thallic nitrate. Thallic nitrate is supposed to crystallize out of an acid solution, and best I can figure, thallous chromate should not dissolve in this. I think. Honestly, I'm not sure. But I think the worst thing that will happen is it will be converted into the dichromate. I couldn't find anything about reactions of chromate with nitric acid, so, yeah. And if it turns green, we know it all went tits up somehow, and we actually have chromium metal instead of thallium. So, let's hope we don't see that. Alright, move out of the light there. Sorry, I know it's raining again. Here we go. Okay. Is it doing something? Kind of looks like it. Ooh, it's turning colors. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you should be able to see that on your screen. I can see, it looks like it here too. It turned kind of a brown, almost. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so now you can see that looks a lot better. I probably should have started with this. Let's see what this stuff does. I'm so thrilled that at least the stirring works. Okay, is it dissolving it, or is it just jerking off in there? What is happening here? Please don't tell me you need to be heated and stirred to react with this shit. Because that would be very, very tedious. Had to heat and stir and alternate. Come on, can't you just dissolve in this shit already? Why do you gotta be difficult? See, Thallium, this is why nobody wants to be with you. Because you're high maintenance. Jesus Christ. Well, it looks very pretty. Okay, bitch, could you please be less of a pain in the ass? That would be great. Alright, let me go try to heat this fucker and I'll come back. Alright, y'all aren't gonna believe this, but this shit worked. Not only did it work, it did it quickly. All it took was a little heat. Yes, this is how I work with this shit without touching it. Tongs are your friend. Look at that! Everything fucking dissolved! Okay, well, dropping the thing is not your friend, but whatever. It dissolved! It worked! And since we know that my nitric acid is contaminated with a little bit of HCl, but there's no precipitate here, well, that proves that all of the thallium is in the +3 state. It fucking worked! So not only did we create thallic oxide, we created thallic nitrate. Yay! I have no idea what happened to the Thallous Chromate that wouldn't dissolve. I have no clue what's up with that, man. I don't know where the fuck it went, but I don't see it in there anymore. Maybe this shit dissolves in acid. The solution is a little off color. Let's see if I can get it. Maybe you should see it better that way there. It's kind of a, I don't know, kind of a brownish. I'm thinking maybe not all of the thallic oxide dissolved maybe. But I'm going to heat this up a little bit more and try to evaporate it down and see if we can't get this shit to crystallize. So we'll see what we get, man. Wish me luck. It is incredibly tedious switching from the hot plate to the stir, from the hot plate to the stir, but, you know, progress of science must march on. And somehow I must pick up that watch glass. So, I will be back when there is something to report. Okay, people, there it is. My God, I was literally in the middle of filming a clip where I was saying I was admitting defeat because for 2 days in a row now, I have gotten up long before the sun has come up, getting about 3 hours of sleep each night, just trying to get something to crystallize out of this shit. Originally, I tried to get the thallic nitrate to crystallize. That was a no-go. Then I tried getting the double salt of thallic nitrate and potassium nitrate to crystallize. That wasn't happening either. Then I noticed this yellow color every time I would evaporate this stuff down. And I know what this yellow color is. It's thallium-3 chloride. All right? It had to be from the HCl that contaminates my HNO3. Okay, fine. So it's thallium-3 chloride and not thallium-3 nitrate anymore. Cool. I'll add in some potassium chloride and we'll crystallize out tripotassium hexachlorophthallate 3. Well, that wasn't happening. It just now finally fucking did it. And boy, it has given off some hellacious fucking vapors. My God. This is like chemical weapons standing next to this fucking thing. Jesus. Alright, sorry, I had to cover that shit up. So yeah, yes, this proves that it definitely worked. Now, you might be saying, but you added all kinds of shit in there, and the volume is really small. How do we know it's not just something like that crystallizing out? Well, hypothetical question asker, there is one other thing we can do to this in order to prove it. We can hydrolyze the thallium-3 to thallium-1 with a solution of potassium chloride. Don't make a liar out of me, motherfucker. You're doing it. You're making a liar out of me. God damn you. God damn you. You did it before. You did it like a fucking hour ago. I added in the potassium chloride here trying to precipitate out the tripotassium hexachlorophthallate 3 and it dropped out fucking thallium-1 chloride everywhere. So I added some more nitric acid and heated it up and it all went back into solution. Okay, well, you know what? This isn't bad, actually, because now that I'm looking at it, I'm seeing, well, there's two things here. One, it's not precipitating, which means all the thallium is probably tied up. Two, this fucking shit is yellow. I don't know if you can really see it. Oh, yeah, let's bring you down for a view from the side. There we go. Those crystals are yellow. They are yellow all the way through. I mean, I've seen hexachlorophthallate 3 complexes before. They are always this color yellow. So if ain't no thallium-1 chloride precipitating out, and we got yellow crystals here, I'm feeling pretty good saying that is potassium hexachlorophthallate. This is as good as it's gonna get, man. This entire fucking experiment has made me nervous as hell. It's produced all kinds of fucking vapors. The steam off of this is just... I mean, yeah, sure, there's a lot of nitric acid in it, but it is unusual. I mean, I work with nitric acid all the time. It's enough to make even me nervous. So while this method works, I emphatically do not recommend it to anybody. It is just about more trouble than it's worth. Unless you have a much better equipped lab where, you know, this isn't going to be dancing with death the entire time. At least that's what it feels like, man. This has been one of the most nerve-wracking experiments I've done in a long time. God, I'm so glad. I mean, 2 fucking days trying to get something to crystallize out of this bitch. And boy, when it dropped out that thallium-1 chloride, when I added in that potassium chloride earlier today, I was so pissed. Oh, I was so mad. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But then I tried heating it up again, and, well, I'm guessing it worked. I mean, it's even dropping... The yellow color is almost completely removed from the solution. It's all being tied up in them yellow crystals. If I hadn't added so much other crap to it, I'd save it as, like, you know, potassium hexachlorophthallate. But, no, I am going to... just waste this stuff. I'll convert it back to the chromate, dump it into the waste, and maybe one of these days when my financial situation is better and I can afford, you know, the appropriate size glassware and do it with all the right ventilations and maybe with some better PPE, I'll revisit this again. Besides, it's not like you can really throw away thallium waste. You kind of have to keep it and do something with it. So I'm sure I will revisit this one day, but it ain't gonna be any day soon. So if you guys like this video, which I really hope you did because it took a tremendous amount of effort, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Subscribe, comment, share the video, throw a few bucks my way if you are enjoying this kind of shit, and until the next one, guys, I will see you later.